Tonight, the owners of a convenience store are taking their liquor license application to the state.
It's one that was rejected by the Omaha City Council earlier this summer. Brian Mastry is live tonight with whether the outcome will be different.
Aaron, John, it is possible the outcome could be different. The Omaha City Council's vote is simply a recommendation. The state can disregard it. Mega Saver wants to build a convenience store in the old Fuddruckers building at 72nd and Dodge. It would be its 29th convenience store. Building's been vacant for 4 years. In July, neighbors voiced opposition to the city council, explaining it's already a congested part of town that's seeing major upgrades with the Central Library and Crossroads reimagination, and that only negative things come from a business specializing in selling shooters of liquor and burner phones. Company representatives argued that isn't a fair assessment and explained personal taste should not be a factor in the decision. Liquor Control Commission meets tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Lincoln. While the City Council did not vote to recommend the license in July, it also voted against sending an attorney from the city to explain the decision. I'm hearing some neighbors have already filed their reasons for opposing the liquor license with the commissioners. On your side, Brian Mastry, 6